Elder Mobley, how are you on this morning? Angela, how are you? Good to see you. Angela, if you got your book yet, we shipped it off. Make sure that you let me know when you get it. Good morning, Denise. How are you on this morning? Laura, how are you on this morning? Brother Pope, how are you on this morning? Verena, how are you doing on this morning? Minister Senton, how are you on this morning? Gloria, how are you on this morning? Lena, how are you? Carolyn, what are you doing on here? I'm telling everybody to pray for you, and you on Morning Manna. There she is. God bless you. Good to see you and everything. You don't scare us no more, okay? Just just be just keep it going. Keep it moving. And don't be scaring us no more. Good morning, Vaughn. How are you on this morning? Vicky, how are you on this morning? Vaughn, how are you? Pamela, how are you on this morning? Good to see all of you on this morning. Good morning, Deborah. How are you on this morning? Dawn, how are you? Pamela, how are you on this morning? Pastor Leah, how are you? Lena, how are you? Pastor Richard, shout out all the way over to the motherland, the soil that birthed us all. The soil that birthed us all, as well as humanity as well. Good morning, Laura. How are you on this morning? Somar, how are you on this morning? Cynthia, how are you? Great, great testimony last night, and our updated version of the testimony service, telling our story. It was really great last night. It really was. It really, really was. I really appreciate that. Uh, Tarika, Tagroka, help me pronounce your name. I know it. I'm struggling with pronouncing it. But good morning. How are you on this morning? Good to see all of you all on this morning. Francine, how are you? Tell Elder to give me another phone. I'm trying to call him, and I don't know. Them tin cans ain't working. I'm not being able to kind of. Hey, I gotta let me stop the presses. Let's just stop the presses. Here is Verla Davis. And I need you all to this shout out. This goes all the way back to my military career. This young lady was a lay minister, we called him that, in the chapel system at Spangdahlem Air Force Base, and was moving into her call now, just blown up in her call, and is joining us. Ferla, thank you so much for being a part this morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Long lives back there, all the way back there. Good morning, Coach Dagny. How are you? Let me just shout out a couple of more folk, and then we got to get with it. Let me see what is Carolyn. Carolyn, what are you talking about here? Thank you, Bishop and Manna fam. Brenda is watching, but can't type. Okay, all right. All right. Well, we're glad that you're able to watch. We're glad that you're able to watch. You watching means a lot. It means a lot to us, and that you are on and that you're doing well. And I pray for you this morning, for sure, for real. Hey, let's get right into it. Stand on that. Stand on that. The text to talk to take away 5 minutes less. Here is the word Daniel 1 and 8, the NIV translation. Listen to it in the version of your choice. But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine. And he asked the chief official for permission not to defile himself this way. A resolve, a stand, a conviction. Conviction is more than belief, it's belief with a backbone. Grab this. In a Babylonian culture that tried to strip Daniel, and this is what we're having right now, of his identity, rename him, and indoctrinate him with a new worldview. Daniel stood tall. He stood firm. He didn't move. Now, the Hebrew word translated resolve or conviction means to purpose, to set, to establish firmly. Daniel didn't just think about it, he made a decision rooted in spiritual clarity and unthinkable purpose. Here is the deal that I need you to get. In this moment that we find ourselves in, as African Americans and beyond, you have to grab a hold of the fact you better have some conviction. You better have conviction. I'm gonna give you three things in a moment, but hear this next thing. You know, we're constantly asked to compromise. Compromise. Yeah, yeah. You ever worked somewhere and they was trying to get you to compromise who you were, your identity? You know what? it's not going to work. Daniel teaches us that your convictions is everything. It really is. You cannot compromise. You cannot. You have to hold on to who you are. Black believers, especially, must have a conviction to walk in the fullness of who God has called us to be. And there's three things I want you to get so that you will not compromise, but have conviction and take a stand. Convictions are tested in the environment of compromise. Daniel was surrounded by opulence, and he chose not to assimilate, but to be who he was. Second thing, conviction are not preferences, they are priorities anchored in God and who you are and your faith and your walk. I'm not going to move from what God, what does he say? When you've done all, stand. Conviction brings clarity. Conviction brings clarity. When the pressure comes to conform, to compromise, to be someone that you lose who you are, your conviction will help you remember you are who you are, and God, that's who he called you to be in the moment that you find yourself in. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway is this: don't let the culture cancel your conviction. Don't let the culture cancel your conviction to be the believer and the black believer that God has called you to be in these moments. The Lord be with you today as you go throughout the day. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. Share the manna. Bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna, and I'll give you a trailer for the message Sunday. God bless you.